By the clock at 7:00. Start the meeting.
Once I call
Stand with the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First order of business would be the meeting of minutes. March what? So get that shade before down a little bit. We're getting quite a glare in this room here. Down the camera level. There we go. Cold.
I'm ready.
Good.
I'm good. I'm good.
All right, I have a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes as written.
One second. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, very good. Next order of business is to resume the open hearing for the quick applications, area variances. Do we have any more comments or concerns, questions?
I want to move forward and remove the shed from consideration, just abandon it, take it out of the equation altogether. Any materials that possibly could have been utilized for the shed could possibly be used on the opposite side. There's about, I'm guessing, maybe 50 to 60 feet of board that could possibly be utilized.
On the other side of the
Correct.
fence.
To put it back to it?
Yes.
Is that what you're talking about? So
Yes.
that their view is on the
A certain-
same line
yeah,
as
there's
yours?
gonna be, I'm guessing it's 50 to, I don't know, 50 or 60 feet possibly.
Is it your intention to do the whole thing?
Well, possibly as funds come available, obviously. Even rough cut lumber is not cheap.
It does simplify things a little bit, but
But then it would kind of look half done, right? If you started,
Well, it depends on, I could confer with Mike to see what area, what end he would like to start at possibly as well. To make it more appealing.
So you would use the wood to put, to finish, so that both sides of the fence would look to be
Correct.
finished, or the
Yes.
good side of the.
Yeah, and then we could, like offset them a little bit, because as the board's dry, he mentioned they get gaps, so we can probably offset them a little bit. That top and bottom to cover up the gaps even the best we can. It doesn't have to be, if you stagger them like by an inch from top to bottom, it should cover up the gap.
And Tim, and thanks, Tim, this is great. The sketch, you can really see, get a picture. Do you have a copy of this that Tim made, the measure, he did all the measurements?
No, he was, avoiding my weed whacker at the time.
Yeah. But it's a big help to see. So was your intention to take the top posts on there, you're gonna cut those off?
Yeah, correct, yeah. It'll be, I don't know, like an inch or 2 inches higher, possibly put the solar lights on top or something.
Okay.
Be minimal above the top.
and your plan is to put lights on the top? Even if you cut them off?
Yeah, there's little like,
Solar cap,
yeah,
decorative cap, I think they're on there now.
there's like.
There's like 5 of them, yeah.
Correct, yeah.
The fence, the way it's built, these are slats, how many inches are these, each individual's?
The boards?
The
8 inch
boards.
boards.
They're 8-inch boards.
Yes.
So if anyone in the process, if you cut the top off, is it, to lower that any, is that, a big process? Can that, if you took off 1 or 2 boards, and then cut the post, is that a big problem to do that, to get it closer to the 6-foot height?
They're screws, so they just got,
So they can be, it's not a
you just gotta
big
find
burden
the,
to you.
yeah, you just gotta find the screw head and back and out.
So if that, right now, so say the first, I'm looking at this, Tim's, the first one is 7 feet in the, say, the very front of the fence. So if you took off, starting there, if you took off an 8-inch board, that you'd be down just slightly over 6 feet on that one. And then proportionally, that they'd all be a little higher.
it's all drawn, assuming a horizontal run on top of the fence, so it'd be great for.
So it is horizontal.
Keeps growing as the one falls off.
Yep. But I mean, it would still be appealing to, if you took one board off, each, say, as a proposal, since you are gonna be, and even that board can be flipped around on the other side, I guess.
Well, just to be clear, I think the 8'2" was to accommodate your shed.
Correct, that back
So-
portion where the decking was.
So the 8'2" is really, really doesn't come into consideration unless your intent is simply keep the fence at 8'2", the height it's at.
8'6" you mean back here?
Well, he was asking for 8'2". It's actually at the front, it's 8'6". That's off the concrete pad that holds the post right at ground level.
Okay,
My question though is, if you're not doing the shed there, then the fence really, for all intents and purposes, doesn't have to be that high. It was to accommodate the back of your shed.
Yeah, because the only reason it's like running like that is because of the slope and because the front boards are ground level. As you see, they run, they're true to the back, that's why there's that height difference there.
Your sole purpose of the fence, and correct me if I'm wrong, was to give you privacy while you're on your deck. Is that
Privacy in general.
Yeah,
Pardon?
exactly.
Privacy in general, us privacy, them privacy.
right?
I mean, they have a pool back there. We don't want to be watching them swim, or do they want us being around when they're in the pool, so.
But if you lowered the second half, I mean, you could do half of it,
You're gonna have a stagger, but
and then you would have a
people want
stagger, but not a complete stagger, but just one stagger down. If you, say you took a board or two off, just the second half of it at the back, on the bottom end of the back.
but I don't know if that would help the neighbors there because their house is here, they're way in the back, it's not, I don't think that affects them as much as when it's right here opposite, right opposite their, well, you don't see it in these pictures, well, you this one. It's more right, the house is close to the front, so the back there probably don't even see.
That's off in the backyard.
Yeah, it's really the front, right here, even at this first, at 7 feet, that's pretty high, standing right at the front.
Well, it's like 6'8" right there, right?
But, well, I'm looking at it, he's got seven.
Yeah, 7 feet. I measured up the concrete, which was pretty much ground level. And I was at the top of your fence board. That seemed to graduate every 6 inches down towards the back.
Yeah, they ran down.
Yeah, I think it looks, it looks neat the way you have it in a straight line, it's just when you stand in this yard, it's just so between the posts and that, it just seems too high. I proposed if you took, at least one or possibly two of those 8-inch boards off, you'd still, I think if you took two of those 8-inch boards off, you'd be in compliance in the front and then just slightly over the rest of it. And then wouldn't you still have your privacy, you wouldn't be able to look into their yard and well, are they full 8-inch boards?
Not anymore. They dry.
They're shrunk, so two boards out, they're probably 6.5, 7 inches each at the most. Take two of them off, you'd still have pretty good privacy, and I don't know if it'd be so imposing in their yard if you had two. If you do the subtraction with each one, whatever it actually comes out to, but that'd be without any cutting, just unscrew them and remove them.
Well, again, being on our back porch, even with the fence, we can still see over to their back porch. So, I mean, it's taking the two boards off, the way the property is pitched, we're still at the high end, even in our backyard.
Nice, any input?
We had agreed for the fence, during the last time for whatever our concern was for the shed and the roof. So, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our concern, and that's been taken care of now. And the fact that Dean isn't gonna be putting it right there. So I really don't have a concern about anything else. I mean, because we're gonna take our fence down anyway. So it's not like it's gonna look like you saw it.
I
But,
mean, this is your fence here, you mean the low,
the little, yeah, the little 4-foot one. So whatever you decide,
so right now, with the shed going, you have no objection to the height of the fence as it is?
I don't,
No, I don't. I mean, I actually don't.
no,
Now, is it all right where, like, at the beginning, when he stopped work, where he has the, like, that first section where he has that extra board coming across? So if you're permitting him to continue on with the rest of his boards across the top?
well,
Yeah.
they weren't gonna do that.
It's gotta get removed.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to touch it, that's why they're still there.
Yeah, I guess the shed thing was, what we were concerned about, because when we sold our last house, we got permission to put our fence on the guy's garage, back of his garage. I couldn't sell the house unless I removed it, because people were gonna buy our house, that's not your property, so you gotta get put back on your property. So that's one of the concerns. If the shed was close to the line, was that gonna be a problem in case we ever sold our house?
With the drainage, but no,
You know.
that's not the issue anymore.
So everything else fine by me.
Yeah, we're good with them. It looks like an eyesore, from my yard looking over because of my fence and my landscaping. But once that's gone, it won't look so ridiculous. So we'll plan on putting the fence up someplace else in the yard. So we're trying to keep it, for the dog not to get out. Our fence.
Okay.
So, once again, I mean, if then we were to consider approving it as now requested, according to this drawing, we need to adjust the application again to be 8'6".
You don't have to adjust the application, you can approve whatever is reasonable from your perspective. So, whatever they ask for, you don't have to meet that, you could come somewhere. You could agree to that or come anywhere in between that and what's allowed without it.
Yeah, I just, want to make sure that the actual request is.
So, and the request would be, a variable from 2 foot, 2 foot 6 inches in the back down to 1 foot in the front. Is
I
the
mean, your
variance.
answer would be whatever the largest number is, we would.
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't do that.
Like you said, maybe we'll work with it. Before we said. We're gonna get it in the front.
Yeah, 2 boards would put it down
Below 6 feet.
below 6 feet.
Right.
Yeah, that's.
It defeats their purpose of being able to sit on their deck, and if the front top part, if boards were taken down, they're not gonna be able to sit on their deck and have the privacy and not see their neighbors swimming in their pool.
Oh, I don't think they can see us in our pool. I think you mean our deck is on the second floor.
Yeah,
So regardless of fence, it would have to be 20 feet tall, not to see us on our deck or us to see them on
So you
theirs.
still can see each other. even
We
with the
can
fence up.
still, because ours is a raised ranch. So our living space is upstairs, and that's where our deck is, off our dining room. So no matter what, that's,
yeah, you can't do nothing about that.
So to be clear, Sally, and you have no issues with the fence the way it stands now?
No, because they already said they were cutting it down, and that's what I thought everybody agreed on, or that, the posts. And everybody agreed on, and he was going to vote for this meeting. Have the answer, that's what I thought.
And you're cutting it down to where? That's wrong.
The larger posts. they're
Just
not-
the post themselves.
Yeah,
just the
those big,
posts,
right.
the ones that have no boards on them.
You know,
That
and the
was
boards,
what was
where the
discussed.
boards are now is fine.
So you don't want him to take any boards off, that you're okay with where he has all the boards
Yeah,
now?
we agreed on at the last meeting that was fine, he was gonna just cut those nubs off. And, that was it. The only real issue after last week's meeting, or last month, was the shed draining in our yard. That was our problem.
Okay.
Now it's, Mr. Chairman's concession. Have both of you discussed, I don't know, Dean, what color do you plan for the fence?
Some sort of, I don't know, as natural as possible, but the wood's got darker, so kind of like whatever's behind you there, it's probably gonna be a little darker, nothing, obtrusive.
And you have no issues with that?
Yeah, well,
No, ours is dark.
yeah,
So you're not gonna paint it, you're just gonna stain it?
Well, there's some sort of like Benjamin Moore stuff
Yeah.
that you get at Tremont's, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, just like you're not gonna make it hot pink or
Yeah.
something like that, yeah.
We want to get along, we just want to be peaceful and get along, that's what it comes down to.
Just wanna dance. Yeah, purple.
And you don't mind if the back side is not finished?
No,
oh, no, I think he's gonna come over and do the backside, I told him, yeah.
oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah, you were gonna come and stay in the back, right?
Oh,
No, I
yeah.
mean, no, I mean finish it, the board, finish.
We have to see how much, yeah, we have to, I mean, again, if we want to do that as far as taking what we have left over, but as Dean said, if we don't,
It's at least half of
obviously it
it.
takes, we have much money sitting there right now that hasn't been used for months, so it's
Could it
kind
be a
of.
gradual process? I don't know. if,
I think what we have to do is try and figure out what we have and then see how far we can kind of get it and
I
again,
think having it half done would be. might be more of a
Tackier looking.
Problem than.
yeah.
And plus, it's not a town ordinance like it was in our old neighborhood in Winesdale. So, I mean, they did what it's allowed, so I'm not gonna complain about that. I mean, I thought it was just a common thing in every town in Brunswick and in Winesdale, so I assumed that the good side faces the neighbor. But that is not even a concern of mine
Yeah.
or ours, but I mean, it was just a surprise because that's where we've lived in the area all our lives. And that was all, but it's not a town ordinance, so they're well within their rights to do that. Put it backward.
Anyone else?
We didn't get any letters or anything about it.
I'm sorry.
So we didn't get any letters or any other correspondence?
And as you said, you're okay when he comes over to stain it, or, if he
Already
has to,
discussed it with.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not going any longer, is that correct? You're gonna, where it is where it is.
And you're able, with the height of the fence the way it is, you can either get your weed whacker under there, or,
We put it on the other side.
Oh, okay.
There's enough. I mean, yeah, because they had another fence, so we were able to get in there and do what we need to,
Maintain it.
with being on our property, yes.
oh, so you were saying, so if you're gonna cut the grass, you have to go on their side?
No, you tiptoe over there, there's just enough room for me to get through there.
Okay.
And they can come and leave with, do it, stain and whatever, I mean, it just can't be like that, you know?
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you. So are we prepared to vote, everyone?
So there were two separate variance requests, right? And so we can just ignore the one completely and.
Ignore one for the shed.
We have all this information here.
And so should we, does anybody proposing any conditions that we attach? Or-
I'd say the only condition is if, to be stained, which they intend to do, but to be stained in a natural, natural color.
Before you vote, somebody should articulate exactly what you're voting on. So are you voting on the fence as it is? Are you voting on any change to the fence in any way? Just before you fill in your paperwork and before you vote, just,
Right, yeah, so,
or somebody propose.
so the proposal, that's what I was getting at before, is that rather than saying 8'2", as we amended it to be last time, we would be 8'6", because that's what it is at the back there.
8'6" at the back and 7 feet at the front. It's not just a standard 8, because do you
Well,
want
I
to?
mean, 7 foot is less than 8'6", right, so that would be covered by the variance.
But I think.
But no, but I don't want the front to be raised to 8'6".
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
No, right. This is-
I know they're
this
not,
as is.
you're not, but that's what, the front part.
But
no
you
higher
should be
than
clear,
7 feet.
yeah, you should be clear. If you
No higher
gave
than 7
variance for
feet.
that 8, it could go.
So that would be the condition that no, as it currently exists, 8 foot, you're getting a variance for, 2 foot 6 inches in the back and 1 foot in the front on the existing, 108 feet of, fence.
Flat or level in between. Okay, and then to be stained a natural color on the neighbor's side. As a condition.
And maintained. I mean, to put the bottom end at 9'6", those posts are high. So I've seen a lot of, with this wind lately, seen a lot of fences down. Panels down,
There was a lot of work
so-
that went into this one. It's not going anywhere.
Okay.
We'll make damn sure of that, that's for sure.
Right, you're cutting you're cutting all the posts off to be with only 2-inch to put a
Just
cap,
enough to have the cap.
a little
that's-
cap.
Yeah, and then I've seen the caps that are on them now, but they're coming out.
Right, those caps fit over probably.
And the solar caps or
It's like an
whatever.
inch and a half is about what it is. 2 inches max.
Oh, so they just won't be flush with the fence, you'll just leave a little bit for the cap to fit on them.
Again, we haven't been able to do anything because of the fact that we had the stop work order and we were anxious to get stain on it. I've left several messages and have not gotten a phone call back about staining it, so.
So we're gonna need some actual wording.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to write it down right now.
Yes. Something like, an area variance to allow fence of height 7 foot towards the house and 8'6" at the rear of the property, level in between, and only on the east side of the property. Is not permitting it the whole way around.
Okay, so we put an existing fence or as is, we can approve. Basically, those numbers we can draw, I guess.
Um, I don't know, can we do it to say the existing fence of this? Fence pulls over, that's still an existing fence.
Can the drawing be attached to the,
And
The
then
tip sketch can be attached to it. Attached. This is the existing fence. Can be attached to it,
exhibit A?
right?
You should also clarify, I know that they've agreed that the posts will be cut. Because the existing fence has got the posts.
With posts.
Yeah.
the post removed.
With posts removed,
Oh, I thought that
was a 6.
posts cut.
He has a 6, was that a 0 or a 6?
That's 6 there. This is the front of the house.
Okay,
This
so-
is like-
All right, so we're going 7 feet there, gotcha.
Yeah, so basically each post is.
Yeah.
So how do you propose to reword this?
Any problems at all?
Which we got the, I think that's fine. You can also use the words as it exists, that clarifies it. You can certainly keep this with the approval too. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of confusion.
Yeah. All right, so we have area variance of existing fence, height 7 feet towards the house and 8'6" at the rear. On the east side of the property only. And it's conditioned that the side facing the neighbor is stained a natural color. Hopefully of their choice, perhaps. Just to throw it out there.
Mike said he's gonna buy it.
Everybody happy with that?
Yeah.
All right. I'll make the condition of the variance. Are we prepared to vote?
Yeah.
Well, just have to fill our-
So as, so are you moving that?
Mhm.
That, I will second that.
All right, yes.
So is that added someplace on here?
Now we just have to motion. to
So, yeah, so
approve this.
basically that's what,
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
what did we just vote for? What did we just?
For what you wrote up.
Okay, that's what we just did.
Okay, well, this is how we vote.
So what was the other thing you said, the fence needs to stay as it is? There can't be any adjustments to the, what was the wording? You said
Just the existing.
existing fence, then, thank you. Couldn't think of that word.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. Can I start?
Okay. Okay. The question one is whether whether undesirable change would be produced in the character of the neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties. I said no, that the only person it really affects is the immediate neighbor, and they've indicated that they don't mind the fence as it's constructed now. Number two, whether benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative. No, because they claim the height is needed for privacy. So number three, whether the requested variance is substantial. I said no, I'm not sure of the percentage. It's like, I think if I did it right, it's only 1.2% front, 1.4 in the rear. So it's I don't think I'd call it substantial.
That's like.
Did I do that right?
No, it's like 10 or 15%.
How much?
So you're off by about 10, so it's 10, maybe 11 to 15.
So 7 feet divided, maybe I divided the wrong way. It's 12%.
Yeah, so 7, well, yeah,
7
1 out of
divided by
6
8.
is about 15%.
Let's see, will the variance have an adverse impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood? No, when you're driving by the neighborhood, it doesn't, looking at it from the front, it looks fine. It's only the immediate neighbor, and they've indicated that they're okay with it. Was the alleged difficulty self-created? Yes. Self-created. They don't have to have a fence. The fence is for their, needed for their, wanted for the privacy only. And the benefit to the applicant outweighs the detriment to the neighborhood. So with what we've heard from the neighborhood, I would vote, give a positive recommendation for the variance.
All right, question one, undesirable change produced in the character of neighborhood. I voted yes. I do have an issue with the structural side facing outward. I hate to think of it as a precedent, but it's something that really should be addressed by code or something. Unfortunately, it's not. But the officials are looking at the structural side, which so I voted yes on that. Whether benefits sought by applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance. Again, I said yes. Not immediately, but there are other options for a particular situation that you find yourself in a tight neighborhood, natural screening or some sort of maintenance-free fence that's suitable. Whether the requested variance is substantial, yes, it's 2'2" above code to 1 foot above code on the front. But the variance have an adverse impact on the physical and environmental conditions in the neighborhood. Again, just the way the fence is not facing outward with the good side. I said, yeah, that was visually unappealing, visually unappealing to the neighbor. Whether he likes it, the difficulty was self-created. And yes, because the applicant constructed the fence higher than code requirement. All that being said, the benefit of the applicant does outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood. So my vote is yes.
For the undesirable change produced in the character of the neighborhood, I said no, the fence is tall, better for its privacy, and the neighbors are not currently objecting to the height of the fence. Whether the benefits sought by the applicant could be achieved by a feasible alternative, I said no, a shorter fence would not adequately provide the desired level of privacy. Whether the required variance is substantial, I said yes, the height is about 15-20% more than allowed by the code. would the variance have an adverse impact on the physical or environmental conditions in the neighborhood? I said, no, there wouldn't be any environmental or physical impact. And whether the alleged difficulty is self-created, I said yes, because it's a desired, not a required change. I did vote in favor of it, and with the condition that the neighbor's side be painted or stained.
Okay, whether the desirable changes would be producing the character of the neighborhood or detriment to the nearby properties, I did say yes. In the code, the fence should be 6 feet maximum. Neighbors have agreed if the top parts are removed and the fence is 7 feet in the front and 8.6 in the rear, this is fine with them. Whether the benefits sought by the applicant can be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance, I did say yes, because boards can be removed to bring the fence to 6 feet. Whether the request variance is substantial, I also said yes, go to 6 feet, fence variance in heights from 7 feet in the front to 8.6 in the rear, a foot above code in the front and 2 feet in the rear above code. Would the variance have adverse impact or physical on the environment conditions of the neighborhood? I said yes, the height of the fence and maintaining the fence on the neighbor's side. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, yes, the fence does not need to be installed. It is for privacy reasons. And I did say, yes, the benefit of the applicant does outweigh the detriment to the neighborhood. And I did put for the reason the applicant has agreed to the conditions set by the zoning board that we had discussed.
My first one.
Oh, your first one.
Now I got a kind of idea of what it's supposed to. Okay. Whether undesirable change would be produced in character of neighborhood or detriment to nearby properties. I said no, but because the code does not say that the good side should be towards the neighbors. If the code had said it, then it'd be different. Where the benefits sought by applicant be achieved by a feasible alternative to the variance, I wrote no. Both parties are in agreement with existing proposal for the privacy. Whether the requested variance is substantial, no, I didn't give a reason. Whether the variance have an adverse impact on the physical environmental conditions in the neighborhood, no. That the higher end of the fence is due to the natural grade keeping the fence on one level. Whether the alleged difficulty was self-created, yes, because it's not necessary. But I did vote in favor due to both parties agreeing on the proposed fencing.
I guess that concludes it. Congratulations. Let's see the building inspector and get you back in business, sir.
Fastest down.
Just said it. I'll be back side of that.
Yep, and then you just hand them over to Stephanie.
And then you'll send us. And then I'll let you know.
Oh, you don't have to.
No, very good. We'll get it to you.
Look at that, because I was up here on which one is this?
That's one right there. I'm gonna have blank. Just like that.
So, to be honest with you,
There's the,
I don't think so.
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn.
All second?
second. No, I second. Oh.
What was the motion?
We made a motion to adjourn? All in
Yeah, we
favor?
had a second.
Yeah, I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You're done with that?
Good seeing you, sir.
So you get to leave.
Did you get a chance to make it over the lake yet?
I did, I sent you a message on Facebook, you didn't answer. Oh, that's Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
We only go for day trips. Yeah.
I even got a chance to go to
Where'd you go?
Perch Haven stop.
You did?
Yeah, I picked up Timmy Scoot's daughter.
Oh, shoot.
Her and Brian, yeah, her and Brian was in off the boat.
Oh.
It was about a couple, 3 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
I was scared